Hello to you and anyone else who found this video. Rather you be baby Tenno or senior Tenno or what's the third one? Um Master Tenno, I guess. I don't know. Either way, if you found this video, then either you're interested in Warframe and you're not currently playing, or you're currently playing Warframe and you're looking for a little bit of help, or you're just browsing what's around in Warframe, in like the Warframe YouTube space. Either way, this video is for you because I'm just kind of going through some things. So, if you're just starting Warframe, because I'm not gonna lie to you, this is what this is mainly for, but anybody can learn something from this. I cannot I can't even tell you how many times I've learned things just from seeing other people who are making videos for beginners. And I've been playing this game for I've been playing for around 1,416 hours. I just looked, so. And I'm still learning things about this game. So, let's start, shall we? Now, when you're first coming to the game, you might just be like, oh my god, there's so much stuff to do. And don't get me wrong, 100% there is. There's like a metric crap ton of stuff to do. But, I can go ahead and tell you right now, don't worry about it. Like, seriously, don't stress, don't worry about it. Because all that doesn't matter right now. You're just starting out. You just got your Mark 1 weapons, you just coming out of the tutorial, or you've already gone through that. You've already completed the first mission, maybe the first two missions. Alright, you're on your way. You're doing good. But here's where a lot of people would go wrong, because I did this initially when I first started too. Thinking, oh my good gracious, what do I do now? Well, here's what you do. You sit down, you calm down a little bit, look at the star chart, and just do shit. You just do shit. Defense missions, disruption missions, exterminations, and even so, while you're doing all of that, just go through clearing each planet. That's all. Don't even worry about the junctions at first. Just go through and clear each planet as much as you can. And then go after the junctions. Because what that's going to do is that's going to give you mods. That's going to give you mods, credits, Endo.
There's a time-limited mission alert available. Check navigation.
Thank you, Space Mom. And that's going to allow you to make something like this. Starting out, at least. Point strike, vital sense, stuff like that. This is something you'll get later. Don't worry about that right now. So, now you're probably wondering, okay, how do I get stronger, right? Well, I'll show you that. If you'll follow me over here to, let's see, Ember. She's a simple one. Take this Stratavar, for instance. See the mods I have on here? Those who know the game will recognize these mods. Some of them won't. You see, the most of the time what you're going to want to do is you want to start out with something like a serration, a flat damage increase. Then depending on your stats, because I'll show you what it's like without my mods. This is a Stratavar Prime.
Suits you. Ha ha.
Now you'll probably see a lot of people going around with Prime stuff. Don't worry about getting Prime stuff if you're first starting out. If you can get it, go ahead, but do not let that be anywhere near your first priority. Your first priority is going to be getting mods, getting credits, and getting Endo. So mainly what I usually do, I go by a simple rule when it goes to modding. Keep it simple, stupid. I tell myself this every time I mod something, because I will overthink the over-living shit out of it and then get absolutely nowhere. So, what you would normally do is, say, go here and find a flat damage mod, like a Serration. Go ahead and just stack that in there. Now, You might be wondering, what the heck are these? Why are they blinking green? Well, they match the symbols and they lower how much mod space these take. These are going to be your best friend. Now, I'm going to tell you now, these things up here are formulas. That is how you get these on there. Now, some weapons come predisposed with some of these. That they are a blessing. But some don't. And you're going to need formulas. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you now, you can never have too many formulas. How do you get formulas? Cracking relics. How do you get relics? You can get relics from all kinds of places. Defense missions, interception, disruption missions. You can get relics all over the place. You can even get relic packs from different places. But you'll get to that. Right now, we're focusing on this. Okay? Okay. So, you got your flat damage mod. Now, what do you want to go from there? Well, what you're going to want to go for next is going to be multi-shot. Where's multi-shot? It's somewhere. Man. Oh, okay. Okay, it doesn't innately have multi-shot, so that's why you're not seeing it.
Tenno, the
Don't mind
balance
me,
of
I'm a little
power
bit stupid.
continues to shift. Navigation is marked with new invasions.
Thank you, Space Mom. Now, why am I calling her Space Mom? You'll figure it out later. Just take your time and go through things. You'll end up calling her Space Mom too. Don't worry about it. So, next you're gonna want to go for a multi-shot. What you're gonna end up having is what. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use the search bar. Just type in what you want. You can type in a shorthand like multi, like I usually do. And it'll come up with split chambers, which is what you're gonna want to have and what you're gonna want to get. Now, notice how this is already a 79 when it started at 30, right? Take a look at what multi-shot does to it. 151. Why is that? Well, because multi-shot has you fire an extra bullet for only 1 ammunition cost. So in your magazine, you'll have 90 in this. Now, you'll fire 2 bullets for the price of 1. So instead of having going down to from 90 to 87, I think. I'm not that good at math. I'm not gonna lie to you. 87. We'll say 87. I'm probably wrong, but 87. Instead of going to 87, you'll go down to 89. Does that make a bunch of sense? No, but it doesn't have to. All you have to know is that split chamber is like multi-shot right here, which is split chamber, and basically is going to be your chamber mods and whatever this is. Multi-shot is going to be your best friend along with these flat damage mods. Put these two together, you will have so much damage. Next, you're actually going to want to go after critical chance, damage, and status. Now, what you're going to want to what you see here is when I click on status. Now, this has a 12%. Now, this 12% is actually split between all of these. It's the puncture, impact, and slash. Now, the top one, so once it does proc, it will proc the highest damage one first. So, puncture and impact, they are the same damage that you can see here, which is why they will proc with the same rate. But slash is weaker than the two of them, so it'll slash at a lower rate. Now, what do these mean exactly? They all have different functions, and as you can see here, if you go on them, they will show you what they do and how they work. This has actually been a pretty good update for the user interface that DE has established. It wasn't always like this, so count yourself lucky if you're new to this. Now, you're gonna ask, what do you do next? Well, critical chance and status. So you can go here and type in crit. Then you'll have all your crit mods here. Now, what you're gonna do is just go straight for it. Straight for critical chance and damage. And let's see here, which will be your point strike and vital sense. Now, What does this mean and what does it do? Well, critical chance, if you played other video games, it works the same. It's a critical hit, extra damage. And followed suit with that logic, critical damage is how much this number here is multiplied by. So, it has a 60% chance of hitting, and when it does hit, it'll multiply that 151 damage by 5.7 times. And that's a lot of damage. Now, as the teacher quest has already showed you, elements exist. So, I'll show you that next. Now, the way I like to do elements is... Okay, let's take you to the star chart really quick. Just gonna bullet jump my way on over here. Don't worry about that right now. So let's take you to Earth. It says here, Earth. It has a hammer and a weird green symbol, right? That green symbol there is corrosive. It's very good against armor. Each faction has its own element that it's weak against. Armored foes like Grenier are going to be, as you can see, that green symbol, which is corrosive. I'll take you over here to Jupiter. Corpus. You see there? A magnet. That is magnetic. They also have a side weakness to electric. Now that does come into contact with magnetic. Allow me to show you how to make these elements. So, how to make these elements? We're going to start off with corrosive. We're going to go over here to this symbol over here. Now you can also just type in corrosive in the search bar as well. But I've been knowing this for a while, so I innately had I memorized how to make corrosive. So, corrosive, you'll take toxin, which in this case is going to be an infected clip for rifles. Now, I stick it into this because I always like to have them interchangeable. Part of my process of keeping it simple, stupid. So I always put one of those to lower the cost. And the next element, because these are combined elements. So you take toxin and then you come down to Stormbringer, which is electricity for rifles. And you put that alongside it. You make that, which makes corrosive, as you can see. And it's weak against Grenier, Kuva Grenier, Scoldger, and Sentience. What are Scoldger and Sentience? Don't worry about that right now. You'll meet them later. Now, Kuva Grenier, you'll also meet later, but that's just regular Grenier. They're just painted red and they're stronger. So, you'll come across them later in your journey. Now, you see how much damage that actually brought here? Putting elements on your weapons gives you a crap ton of damage. Now, I'll take Stormbringer off so you can see what it's like with just an infected clip. 287 coming from 151. Now, putting a dual element makes it that. But when you're using the element that they're weak to, this actually does an extra 1.5 damage, which seems small, but it's not. It's very, very important. And so, you see I have 2 more here, right? Well, we're missing something. We haven't done status chance yet. And status is very much important, because without status, these will not proc them reliably. And as I showed you here, since corrosive is doing majority of the damage, it takes majority of the chance to proc. And you want to raise this. So I would just go here and type in status. Brings up your status mods. Now what you're going to end up having is rifle aptitude. So you just want to slot that in there. That makes it a 22% now. Which gives that a 14% chance. Now, you might be thinking, that's still low, Cedra. Well, yes it is. But you have to keep in mind, the Stradivar is a automatic assault rifle with high fire rate. So you're taking this fire rate along with this percentage, and each bullet had its own chance to proc this with 22%, meaning that extra bullet you're firing also has its own separate instance of procking it. So with each bullet, you have two chances to proc this 22%, meaning you're basically guaranteed to proc this, especially with this fire rate. And that's basically how you end up modding your weapons. Now, is this a lot to look at? It is. But I hope that I helped you out with making it simple. Now, I have an extra space here. What do I do with it? Well, honestly, you can either put a quality of life mod here, or you can sort of kind of do whatever you wish with it. This is basically the mainstay of the builds that I usually use here. Keeping it simple, you know? Got the got the mods here for so I can have what they're most weak to, which for Grineer is corrosive. I have multi-shot, gives me a crap ton of damage. I have serration, gives me more baseline damage. Point strike, it increases my critical chance. So I can hit them with more criticals, which in turn gives more vital sense a purpose, which gives it more critical damage, which means my damage is going to be multiplied by that 5.7. I really hope all that makes sense. I hope I'm not talking too fast for you as well. So, as you can see, I basically have the same ones, except I have a higher version of that chamber mod and a higher version of aptitude. Now, you might be wondering what's radiated reload? Well, here you go. It's just a quality of life mod, like I said, you could just put there. It was for me, it was reloading too slow, so I just put that in there. Where do you get that? Don't worry about that right now. Right now, you don't really even need it. Now, there are others that will do this though. There are mods very specifically made for reload speed. If that's what you need to put in there, then you use those. You'll come across these mods like this later in the game. But for right now, you don't really need this. Now, you might be asking, what's this here? This is an arcane. You'll get that way later in the game when you basically hit hard mode slash new game plus mode. But you'll get that once you clear out the star chart. But like I said, take your time, find your favorite mission, play that favorite mission, and clear out planet after planet. Don't worry about rushing through the gates to a different planet. Focus on one planet at a time. And then when you feel like you're ready to go to a different planet, that's when you go to a different planet. You go it at your own pace. Don't rush. Nothing's gonna run away from you. You're not gonna miss anything. Just take it nice and slow. Find your favorite mission. Find your favorite warframes. Speaking of warframes, this is Ember. You'll get her later. You'll have a chance to get her later on. But you might be asking, Cedra, how do I get warframes? Well, you get warframes from bosses. Let's see here. Who's the boss on this one? That's a survival mission. That's something else. Who is the boss on? Does this not have a boss? Ah, here we go. The Jackal. Here is where you get one of my favorite warframes, Rhino. So you beat this boss a bunch of times, and you'll get their pieces so you can build them in the foundry. So now I'm gonna show you how to mod a warframe. well, how I model Warframe. You might develop your own skill to do it differently than me. To each their own, you know? So this right here is mine. It has augment mods and all. So I'm going to show you how, if you're a beginner, of course, how you would mod a Warframe for beginners. So this is what I would say. Since see how high your shields are here, Ember I classify as a shield frame. Now a lot of people, now this is just a general consensus of classifying as a shield frame, of course, because I would say almost everyone will classify Ember as a shield frame, if not everyone. So you would focus on your shields. Now you say, what about health? Well, your health, right? Your health here is useless. Because with your shields being like this, your shields take all the brunt of damage except for Toxin. Now, Toxin, now enemies use Toxin when you're going up against a certain type of enemy. You will know what that certain type of enemy is when you come against them. Those are the ones you have to worry about Toxin. But for most enemies in this game, you don't have to worry about Toxin whatsoever. So what you're gonna want to do here is focus on shields. So the first thing you do is type in shield. Why not type in shields? Because that's what I said was shields, because this up here says shield. And you're gonna want to follow this or it won't come up. As you'll see here, I'll show you. You type in an S, it apparently yeah. So, and then you take off the S, you see how that changes. So some mods won't show up if you spell things incorrectly. So the first thing you're going to want to do is pop in a redirection. So you'll have more shields, which means you'll have more cushions before it hits your health. And what you're going to want to do next is actually go for redirection. What does redirection do? Recharge your shield. So that means your shield comes back faster. And recharge delay. What is recharge delay? Well, recharge delay, as you will see here. Let's see. Shield recharge automatically after damage is taken with a delay of 0.06 seconds. So that means 0.6 seconds after you take damage, your shields will start to recharge, meaning you get to live longer. Now without shield recharge, without fast deflection, it takes 1 second. That is not gonna be good for you in the long run. So you're gonna want to keep fast deflection on your shield builds on warframes that rely on shields to survive. Next it's actually going to be up to you really and how you play your warframe. First thing I would always like to do with a warframe is focus on survivability first. A lot of people say focus on your abilities. Well, I would say you can't use your abilities if you're not alive to use them. So, I focus on survivability first. And for Ember, that's going to be her shields. Next, I take a look at their abilities. Fireball, Immolation, Fire Blast, and Inferno. Now, her two biggest ones that I use are Immolation and Fire Blast. Now, Immolation here is going to basically give you a damage grab basket. I cannot talk. Damage reduction of a 40 to 85%. This is baseline. This is not these stats are not going to change between the different versions of the Warframe. Prime or base, it's not going to matter. These stats on the abilities do not change. Next, so this gives you damage reduction. Now, can that damage reduction go up? Yes, it can with strength mods. So, Oh, I forgot to even mention this. You can actually go up to these and just press them, and it'll search it automatically for you. So if you want to increase, this damage reduction, you'll go intensify, and it'll go up to a 50 to 90%. Baseline 50 when you activate it, and go up to 90% when that flame reaches up, when that flame meter in the corner over there reaches complete high. Now, when that flame meter reaches there, you're going to want to press this ability here, which, as you can see, knocks down your flames. Now, if it knocks down my damage reduction, why do I want to do that? Because for that high damage reduction, when it's full, it'll start draining your energy. And here it'll start, and here it'll show you that it'll start draining 0.4 a second. 0.4 energy a second, which doesn't sound like a lot, but with the energy economy that you'll have, it actually is quite a lot, because doing that a second adds up very, very quickly. So, how do I lessen that? Right? And you're also looking like, if energy is so important and you only have 225, which sounds like a lot, but when you're going with abilities that cost 50 energy each, you're going to want to lower that cost. So you'll go up over here to efficiency, and you'll want to put a streamline up here, and that knocks down to cost 35. And it even knocks down the drain to 0.28. I have no idea how that works myself, but it's lower, so I know that it's lower, and that's all that matters. And that also knocks down the cost for everything else in here too. Now, when it takes to something like this, channeled abilities, which is our abilities that use energy as you have them active. Efficiency helps with those, but so does duration. So say you have an ability that uses energy while it's activated. You're gonna want to use you're gonna want efficiency and duration for that. I'll show you. Put in a continuity. Go down here. It further lowered it from 28 to 22 because draining energy a second. That's basically what the game sees as a channeled ability. So when you have a channeled ability, you're gonna want to use duration and efficiency together to lower how much energy it costs to activate and how much energy it uses as you have it active. Range is exactly what it says. How far out the ability can go when it's used, or the area of effect. Now, you're going to want to play around with this to fit your own playstyle, of course. How much strength you want compared to your efficiency, duration, and range. Now, depending on your playstyle, these are always going to look different. Even if a person is using the same WarFrame as you, but your playstyles may differ even slightly, these are going to look different. Or what you best cherish about your WarFrame with using their abilities is going to look different. Not the best way I could have said that, but that's the way I said it. So keep going, Cedra. Keep going. English is hard. So that's basically the gist of doing things with WarFrames. For beginners, of course. Now, if anybody wants a tier above beginner, once you're starting to get yourself established, this actually helps for when you're established and when you're just beginning. So what I've just showed you here will go for both. Now, the main thing you're going to want to do with the WarFrames exactly is feel them out. I again would start on what lets them survive. For Ember here, the way I use her is shields. So give her a lot of shields and use a fast deflection so those shields come back as quick as possible. For her ability stuff here, it differs. It differs depending on your playstyle and what you hold most dear when using the abilities. You may not give a fuck about your energy economy, so you might not even use streamline at all. Because maybe you don't use her ability this much, so you seem like it's a waste. Though I would recommend still using streamline even if you don't think it's necessary. I would still use it because you never know when you might get into a spot and you need your abilities, and since they would cost so much, you can't use them as much as you would need to. Now, this doesn't just go for Ember, this goes for any Warframe. So I'm kind of teaching you general things that would go for any weapon in any Warframe. So now, to see my build on this Ember, I got higher versions of what I just showed you. A higher version of a shield mod, higher version of the duration mod. I add stretch on mine because I care about the area of effect that she can have. I have adaptation on here. This is actually going to be something you get when you're later in the game. Much later in the game. So you don't have to worry about this right now, but keep it in the back of your mind. I have regular intensify because I care about the strength, and I have this is a higher version mod of streamline. As you can see, it's a positive and a negative here. You'll get these later on in the game as well, but these are called corrupted mods. You'll need to join a clan to be able to get this, to be able to do the thing to get these. So if you want like a short or something on that, I can make one. Just leave a comment, just leave something in the comments. And these are the augment mods I chose. But the ones you choose may differ. Where do you get augment mods? You'll get them from syndicates. What are syndicates? Well, I'll show you. If you go up here on your orbiter, you'll see this console here. You'll go into this console right here, and you'll pick one of these to pledge to. So you'll see this here, change pledge. Now, a lot of these syndicates don't like each other. So I will show you exactly what to do with that. The way I done it is I go with the Space Nazis and Red Veil. Correction. I go with the parent sequence and the Red Veil. Because fuck the Space Nazis. So what you're gonna want to do is actually go with the Red Veil and Space Nazis if you want the most amount of syndicates on your side. Because since some of them don't like each other, you can see that the Cephalon Suda and Arbors of Hexus don't like the Red Veil. And Steel Meridian doesn't like the Space Nazis. I don't like the Space Nazis either. They can go die in the vacuum of space for all I care. But I don't have a choice but to work with them because I need the parent sequence. And I lose less favor with Steel Meridian working with the Space Nazis. So, yeah. But they are where you get your augment mods from. You have to become max rank with them, of course. But, they will come, I believe, fairly early in the game. So, yeah. So, an overview of what I've just gone over. So, an overview of what I've just gone over here, which is keep my motto when I mod weapons. Keep it simple, stupid. First thing you want to put on there, flat damage mod. Second thing you're gonna want to put on there, I should do this over here because I'm dumb. So you're gonna want to go over here, flat damage mod. So you'll grab a serration. Next, you're gonna want to go for multi-shot. So just type in multi in the search bar, and you'll come up with a split chamber. Slap that sucker on there. Now you're gonna say that I can't do that right now. You're gonna have to level up your weapon, and you're gonna have to put in some formas. So, getting formas, when you form a weapon, I will give you a really big warning here, because some don't know this when they first start, and they don't read the initial warning when it comes up. Your weapon will be reset, meaning you will have to re-level it from 0 when you put a forma on it. Keep that in mind, okay? Yes, that does kind of suck, but no, I don't really got anything else to say about that. It just kind of sucks. But next, after you put on your multi-shot and your flat damage mod, you're gonna want to go for your critical chance damage and your statuses. So you go now. What means the most to you starting out? I would go for critical and critical damage first, due to the fact of when you're leveling, it's all about kills. So the more kills you get with that weapon, the high the shorter it takes to level up that weapon. So how to get more kills, more damage, which critical chance and damage gives you. So slap on a point strike and a vital sense. Next, you're gonna want to do statuses. So just tap on status and put on the rifle aptitude. Now, what are you gonna do next? If you remember, you're gonna want to go after the elemental bonuses of the faction you're going after. So if you're going after Grenier, you go over here, put in infected clip, and Stormbringer, which gives you corrosive. Now, if you're going after Corpus, you're gonna want to actually have electricity and cold, which makes magnetic. Those are the two you're mainly gonna need in the origin system: magnetic, and corrosive. And as I'll go over the Warframe things again, what you want to focus on first is going to be your survivability, which for a lot of the Warframes is going to be shields. So you put on a shield mod and you put on fast deflection. That's simple really. Put on shield mod and fast deflection, and then you look at the abilities and think about what means the most to you. What means the most to you about these abilities? And if you're not sure, what kind of mod would affect what a part of the ability, just slap it on there. Just slap it on there and find out. It's what I do, at least. So say I'm not sure if damage reduction, if strength will do something to damage reduction. Well, only one way to find out, right? Slap on it, intensify, go down to the ability, and see that yes, it does. It does do something. It's like, okay, cool. And as you do that, and build out your frames, it'll start to make more and more sense to you. Now, I will show you again. Here, corrosive. It shows you what damage type is suggested. For Grenier, corrosive. Why? Because they have armor. Armored enemies are going to be weak to corrosive. Go over here to Corpus. Gonna go over here. It says puncture and magnetic. Why magnetic? Because shielded enemies are weak to magnetic. And that's about all I really have for you. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it helped. And if you need anything or any kind of special counsel, I do have a Discord that you can go into. No one is in there because I literally just created it today for this very thing. So, or if you want to play with me, just message me on Discord. I will see you guys later. Maybe even in game. Y'all have a fantastic day. And remember, keep it simple and take it slow with this game. Don't rush anything. Don't rush into anything in this game. Just take it slow and walk. Don't run. Just crawl and walk. You'll make it there. And I'm here for you, and I'm here to help you out if you need me. And there's a whole host of other creators out there who's here to help you too. And don't think DE doesn't see you either. They're one of the best companies for something like this. You got a problem? If you got a problem, likely they're either working on fixing it or they will fix it eventually. Depending on the problem, of course. That also goes to front as in depending on how severe the problem is how quickly they'll get to it. But usually if it's something game breaking or something like that, they'll fix it very, very quickly. But if it's a quality of life, just wait a little bit. They will get to it, I promise you. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Y'all have a great day and enjoy the game. Because I know after I've been playing for so long, I sure as hell still do.